How to Become Tough, Part 2. Welcome back, my friend. I hope you're having a great day. It's a nice, beautiful day. Now, I can make a whole series on this, on how to become tough. But understand, like I will always begin each video, everything that I'm telling you is based upon my experiences, all right? Everybody has stories everywhere. Like I said, being tough is basically about stories. Stories about overcoming some of the hardest shit that no one ever thought was possible. So if you want to become tough, basically comes down to stories. Now, how to become tough. Part 2. You got to understand that, you know, in this world of tough guys, like, what is his name? One of the Gracies. He had that documentary, Choke. Damn, it's like, it's having a brain fart. But he said, you can find tough guys on trees. Tough guys are everywhere. Okay? Now you gotta understand. This is gonna be the second part. The first part I said, being tough basically comes out to stories and creating your own story of overcoming some of the craziest shit possible. Now, the second part will be becoming valuable and being yourself. Dude, this is like becoming valuable. This is one that's extremely hard to understand, especially for tough motherfuckers. Believe me, like I said, I had many life experiences, okay? From the streets, getting into tattoos. I owned a fitness business. My fitness business was actually like right across the military base. So when I posted my gym on Groupon for like a month special just to get people through the door, of course on Groupon they're gonna see it on the map, and then on the map it'll just be within like a 10-mile radius. So I had a lot of clients coming from the base, so of course I met like a lot of military personnel from there. From when guys joined, I got to really get the rundown on who's actually the tip of the spear when it comes to armed services. I don't want to talk too much about that because like I said, it's hearsay, you know, everybody's opinion. But there is, you know, there's like Navy SEALs, Marines, there's factions above that. And you know, when they started to roll in, you know, a lot of these guys, they're like the, I had some guys who are like the tip of the spear. They can't even say the group they're with, but you know, in order for me to train them, they saw me, I already had my neck tattoos. They had that point where they were like, you know, if you're gonna train me, and my gym was called Hardcore Fitness Hawaii, they were like, you know, if you have this name, you're gonna train me, this and that, you know, we gotta see what you can do. So of course there was like a little hazing period for me. These military dudes wanted to see what I could do. Of course, whatever they wanted to do, they wanted to ruck, they wanted to do burpees, bodyweight stuff, bro, I'm gonna keep up. If not, I'm gonna do more. So, you know, I had that portion. Really good dudes. Fought in the cage. My wrestling experiences. Then, of course, like getting into martial arts, this and that. You gotta understand, in everything I did, especially the labor work side. You know, if you're a mover, if you're a fitter, welder, doesn't matter. There's gonna be so much tough motherfuckers out there. Okay. Now, what separates tough motherfuckers to a whole different level is tough motherfuckers who are valuable. Because I know tough motherfuckers in the street who are tough, but they're a fucking menace to society, bro. It's like they're tough, but it's not valuable to anyone. And if anything, it's just destroying everything and everyone around them. And that's what you don't want to be. You don't want to be this tough motherfucker that's just like no one wants to be around. And there's nothing good that comes out of you. Like the Bible says, you will know them by their fruits. Always remember that line, okay? So like I said, I was on the streets. And you see these guys, they really... I've been around street guys who are extremely rich, extremely successful at what they did. But, you know, they all end up in the same place. Either... in jail, prison, or getting beat the fuck up. Down here, I don't want to get too much into it, but people do lose their life over organized crime. It's a sad reality in Hawaii, but it is what it is. I don't want to dive too deep into that, because once I understood some things, I was just like, fuck, this doesn't even make sense. You're doing all this work, you have all this money, all these accolades, driving all these cars, but yet you end up in one or two places. And if not, people look at you and it's kind of like, what are you really? You have all of these things, but what are you doing for anyone? You got some guys that put their money in good places, they help out the community, but still, there's a point where down the line, bro, you're either, like, again, if you get really deep into the shit, you're gonna die or you're gonna go to prison. And it just, why? So when I was into labor work, understand who I was. I'm a quiet guy. I tend to observe, and I don't like to bump too much heads. Once I kind of figure everything out, then I'll open up more, but I'm always quiet. I'll just sit back. I'll kind of like really just act like I'm super introverted, but a lot of it is because, I just like to sit back and observe. I think, from my childhood, because I got picked on a lot because I was smaller, and, just being in the streets, of course, when shit goes down, I'm always the smallest guy. A lot of my best friends were Polynesian, and they were bigger than me at the time. I think when we were rolling around, I was like 7th grade, man, hanging out with like kids who look like full-grown adults. They got beards and shit, bigger, stronger. So of course I'm always going to be the first dude. So from a young age, I learned how to observe people, just keep to myself, really observe people. This is why I got into spirituality, because there are some guys I met, they don't even have to say anything, and you knew already that they were tough. But I always kick back, I always observe people. So when I got into labor work, of course, sometimes I'd go on job sites and I see the get down. I walk on a job site, I see guys, I don't want to put anybody down, but understand, like, I would walk on a job site, okay? I see dudes, they don't really look like anything. They're kind of overweight, they're kind of dirty. They, like, there's just, the job site is dirty, messy, there's just shit everywhere. Once you get into the huddle, you kind of find out the daily tasks, what's today, what we got to do, what got to get done, and you look at the list, it's just like, that's it? Like, I'm looking around like, bro, you guys get paid like $25 an hour, like, this is it? And I'm looking at them like, $25 an hour for like 10 years ago as like starting pay. Dude, that's a lot as a laborer. And like, you're just shoveling rubbish, basically. You're doing demo, whatever, and you're looking at some of these guys like, this is it? We go on lunch, like, they're fucking like sleeping, this and that. And they have their stories, okay? And like I said, I always kind of just sit, observe, I hear their stories, I see who's who on the site, I see who kind of like holds the torch, who everybody kind of speaks to, who they get guided by, and I just look at them and it's like, okay, you give me about a week over here, I'm gonna start running you guys over, man. Like, you guys are just not on my level, I hate to say. Then there was other sites I would go to, okay? Before I even walk on the job site, I would see just lifted trucks, okay? Not like Toyotas, but I would see like Fords, 450s, 350s, like lifted to the sky, big ass stacks, diesels, Dodge Rams. I would see like some BMWs and not no two like 5 Series Beamers in the parking lot. Then I know already, okay? Before I step on the parking lot, I know, there's gonna be some guys here, okay? When I walk on the site, before the huddle, I see the guys. These guys are in their high-vis shirts, but they're fucking yoked out, fat ass chain. I mean, 2 boxes are clean. I see some guys sweeping up, some of the guys boom sweeping. Some guys, hey, they're just pounding their monster, smoking their cigarette, but still, uncles get fucking fat chain thick. And before even the huddle, like, I walked into the parking lot, parked my car, I see all the lifted trucks, I see, Beamers is just a thing, or like an Infinity, but mostly it's going to be trucks, diesels, okay? That's the difference. There's some sites I walked on, they were like just regular, like Toyotas, some 4Runners. That's a big thing in Hawaii, that some sites you go to, it's just all diesels, Dodges, Fords, dualies, okay? And when I walk on the site, I just see buff motherfuckers with big ass chains. And I know, and once we clock in, I see the task, it's like, oh, this is a lot. And then once we start going into it, bro, we're fucking going. We're going. And these guys are, even though they're big and buff with like these big ass unnecessary chains, bro, they're fucking jamming. They're working. And you know, of course you start, then you have like after a couple hours, you have a 15-minute break. After that, you have a half an hour lunch. After that, you have another 15-minute break. And then, you know, your work day is done. So during those breaks, right before, some guys would be slamming their protein shake. 15-minute break, another protein shake. Lunchtime, they're eating their chicken with rice, their broccoli or ground beef with rice. Sometimes, you know, they get like on plate lunch, but they're always somewhat in that bodybuilder range. After lunch, they would have another protein shake. After work, they're eating again. They're about to go to the gym. Like, these were tough motherfuckers. And like, you see the differences, bro. When a motherfucker is lazy, like he has his stories, yeah, he's tough, but he's tough when he needs to be tough. Then when I got up to other job sites, I see these fucking big ass trucks, big ass chains, these guys is fucking yoked out. I see that they're tough on a daily, moment to moment. Even though they're fucking tired. Bro, when I see the work list, it's like, you gotta be precise. You gotta be in flow with your team. And you gotta know what the fuck you're doing. On top of knowing your materials, knowing your skills, knowing your shit, measurements, what's coming in, what's not in, who's sick, this and that. You gotta know so much things to get this work list done. Bro, these guys is tough. And this is what I mean. To be the baddest of the bad, you gotta be valuable to other people. What does it mean for you to do fucking 3,000 push-ups, do all these other, like, you can bench this, like me, I can shadow box, move and groove, but what is it to other people? And like, I can just be a beast in my garage. Well, how is that being actually tough? What value? You know what I mean? So, number one, with part two, you got to be valuable to other people. And then the second part to this is, you just got to be yourself, man. Like I said, I was always kind of a kickback guy. And then once I got with the group, once I got with the boys, dude, they realized like I'm extremely energetic. I laugh a lot. The Chinese line dance group, they kind of sometimes like, dude, I just be laughing. Like, you know, we're training and stuff, and it just seems so fun to me. And it's laughable because it's like, these guys have no idea. Like, we're doing like horse stances, you know, we're holding it kind of long. You know, and I'm just like laughing about it. Why? Because there was a point in time, dude, I was doing like 3,000 bodyweight squats a day. 1,500 in the morning, 1,500 I was done after work, on top of push-ups, pull-ups, all this other shit. Still shadow boxing, hitting it. Like, it's laughable to me. And I was just, no matter what, I'm always going to be this laughable dude because I've always endured so much. And I've always pushed myself to the brink. And, you know, I always kick back. And I always made sure that even though I may have gone on a job site where motherfuckers are extremely lazy, I always did my best to uplift the crew and, you know, let them know, like, bro, we can hang out, we can talk story, we can shoot the shit, but we got to work first. And we're taking time out of our day from our families. You know, yes, we're putting food on the table, but everything that we do has our name stamped on it. Like, stop being such a fucking careless motherfucker. And, like, let's actually put in some good quality work. Let's focus on our productivity. Let's focus on speed. Let's get better at whatever the fuck we're doing. Even if we're like caulking seams, okay? I'm trying to fucking be the best at it. Like I said, we're spending so much time away. And as a martial artist, you got to understand that everything is training. You know, if I'm cutting tiles, even when I'm communicating with my foreman, sometimes you just got to throw up like two fingers. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Same thing. Like, if you're on a battlefield, like I just got to look at my general or whoever I'm serving under. He just got to give like two nods. I know already. Same thing with me and my line dance teacher when we're performing. He knows. Sometimes I'm moving and grooving, but he knows when I stop. You know, I'm in the light hit, so I still got to move. I still got to groove, but he knows that I'm listening. So, you know, while I'm kind of just boop, 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 slowing it down, I'm still putting on a show. He knows I'm listening. Boop. Okay, let's go. And that's what it is. You got to, along with creating these stories of overcoming these fucking crazy ass challenges, you got to be valuable. And you got to look at what you're actually contributing. Is it actually helping people's lives? And this is the one thing that you can really tell, okay? If you want to know if what you're doing is valuable, you got to ask yourself, if everybody did what I did, will this group or whatever we're doing, will it be better? Will it get enhanced? or will it get drawn back? And that's a simple one. And you gotta look straight in the mirror. Like I said, I would walk on some job sites. Guys would be like, oh yeah, Chezzy boy, I do this, I do that, cause we can get this done, da 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 da. But I look at you, it's like, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. I look at you, you're out of shape, you eat like shit, you look like shit. You talking about going to the strip club after this, like, your marriage is probably shit. I'm not trying to put anybody down, okay? But understand, like, I've seen both ends of the spectrum. Then I go on other sites, lifting trucks, big buff motherfuckers, big buff chains. Chezzy boy, they don't even tell me what they do. Chezzy boy, this is what we're gonna do today. When we're on break, they don't even talk story because they're fucking too busy drinking their stuff, their protein shakes. Other than that, these guys don't really talk much, and they're just there to produce. They're there to work, and they're there to just fucking just do what it do, man. And that's what it is. So the second part about becoming tough. Okay, I'm gonna make a whole series on this shit. Becoming tough, part 1 was creating a story, okay? Then creating your own story, finding the greatest version of you, seeing how you can do it the hardest way possible, okay? Going on that hero's journey. And then now for this video, it's gonna be becoming valuable. Being tough in a way where your toughness will uplift someone's life, someone's company, someone's just overall quality of life, okay? Your toughness, your strength, your tenacity, your mindset, your positivity, me laughing and just joking all the time. It has to be valued, and it has to uplift someone, something, everything, okay? And then number 2 is just being yourself. It's hard for you to be valuable. It's hard for you to be tough when you're putting on a mask. You gotta just be you. And within you, if you're introverted like me, dude, I'm actually extremely introverted. Don't worry, you can be valuable, you can be tough in your own way. But like I said, your introvertness, your authenticity, your toughness has to be valuable to someone else, okay? This is part 2 of how to become tough. I'm gonna just drop more stories, more get downs, but understand that for today, focus on that. Your story, what you're creating, what you're overcoming, how you're valuable to other people, and how are you just being more about yourself, being more of yourself. There's so many different guys out there. There's already been a Bruce Lee, there's already a Conor McGregor, there's already all these other crazy tough dudes. Just be you, man. Just be you. Hickson, the grappler, Hickson Gracie, choke. That guy he's a tough motherfucker, man. Tough and smart. But that's what it is, all right? And just always remember, train hard and be kind. Let's go.